Hello, this is Courtney, and I have a case study to do with a couple of people that I know, and I'm going to give some examples. These are not exact facts, but I'm going to give some information. I kind of think my niche might be helping people who haven't prepared for retirement on figuring out how to retire. And I'm just going to give some information. I'm going to probably have to wear my googly glasses to do this, so hang with me. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I don't put a lot of I haven't put a lot of time and effort into doing links and video quality and editing because, quite frankly, I do this just for fun, and it is something I do to help people. So please try to overlook any video quality issues, but I hope the content is enough to keep you here. So this is for a friend right now who had a job making around 120. The job was cut in half, and right now between her and her husband, they're making around $56,000 a year, if I have those numbers right. With side hustle money, I'm counting about another $14,000, and I'm going to try to encourage them to make around $70,000 a year, and that is $42,000 with one job, $15,000 with another respectively, and $14,000 in side hustle money. That's $70,000 a year. If they take that $70,000 a year and they put all the side hustle money towards debt or retirement, and the other income, the smaller $15,000, I've got it at $14,400 income, if they put that towards their student loan, this is where they're going to be. So real quickly, there's about $7,000 in personal consumer debt and about $240,000 in student loans. If they were to take the smaller income or the side hustle money and put it in on student loans, it's going to take at least 17 years to pay off, and that is without me figuring the interest. And so what I would recommend there is that they take either the side hustle money or the second income, pay it towards the debt first to get the debt paid off quickly, and then put it towards student loans, but fully fund their retirement. Open an IRA that is a no load or a low cost fund, like I would recommend Vanguard. I'm not going to go into the weeds with that. We can talk about that in a later video. However, if they can figure out a way to make more money, this is what it's going to look like. Now, let's just say they continue to make $70,000 a year. Again, that's the base job, side hustle, and the second income. What it's going to look like is it's probably going to take until they retire around 67 or 68 when Social Security offers full retirement. You can take Social Security at 62. It will be about 40% less, and you can take it at 60, anywhere between 62 and 67.8, I believe, for our age, but you're going to be having substantially less Social Security. In some cases, it's almost half. If you wait till full retirement, it's quite a bit more, and if you wait to 70, it's substantially more. So I'm putting them at about 68 years old to retire, and I know that may sound a little like, I don't want to wait till I'm 68, but that's not to say if they make more money or a windfall comes along of some sort, that they wouldn't be able to move that date up. So at that rate, in 10 years, I'll tell you what they'll have. Okay, no, I'm sorry. If they save in their IRA $14,000 a year and they're paying $14,000 a year on the student loans, in 18 years, the student loan should be about paid off if they don't pay anything else extra on it, and they're going to have in their IRA at a conservative 7%, $221,000. Okay, $221,000 is not a terrible lot of money to retire on, but it will definitely help supplement Social Security. Now, I want to give a different scenario, and I want to tell you the ways to get to financial independence or retire early or comfortably. And those things are, you first of all need to get out of debt. Sometimes you're getting out of debt at a slower rate, especially if you're older and you're retirement accounts can make more money in interest than your debts. And I wouldn't recommend that unless you're absolutely in this same position. So you want to have a no debt. You can increase your earnings. You can, and you want to have a high savings rate. We're talking 40 to 60%. And so if you increase your income, then it makes a whole lot more sense to see how you can save that much. And by doing what I tell you to do, you're going to lower your taxes so much that you're not going to have. That's the secret to the rich, y'all, is they put all their money in tax deferred retirement, and they don't pay as much because their savings rates are so high. The government encourages this, and I don't want to get in the weeds on it, but one of these people, they actually both have professions that have the potential of making a lot more money. There are some circumstances that lead to one of them having some health issues that may prohibit this person from making extra money. The other one is a possibility, depending on what they would like to do, that either their side hustle could increase or they could use their profession, their day job now, and possibly increase their income. If they were able to increase their income to, say, $100,000 a year and live on 48, or $112,000 a year and put 52 back and have 60, around that 100 to 112,000, this is where they could be. And this is how I would break that down. 100,000, I would take $40,000 a year towards student loans. That's going to pay those student loans off in about 6 or 7 years. On the IRA, I would fund it at $14,000, and I would live on $46,000, which is a little more than what they're living on right now. And so that's living on $3,833 a month with all debts paid. Okay? Now, if they did that, and then in 6 years the student loan was paid off, and they took that $100,000 and they put $52,000 between an IRA and a 401k, that's the total you can put on that, and I'm not counting anything else. That's going to leave between $48,000 and $60,000, depending on what they're making, 100 to 112. They could live on that $4,000 a month, and if they save that $52,000 from age 55 to age 68, actually I have it from age 57 to 67, that is going to give them an additional $600,000. So the $600,000 with the 221 is going to be roughly $800,000. And I know I didn't do the correct math, but I figured it up actually at around $821,000. So that would give them, if they followed the 4% rule, that would give them a 4% off of their investments every month, would give them an income of $2,735. Let's guesstimate that their Social Security is around $1,200 a piece. That's conservative because in 2032, Social Security is saying they're going to have to cut benefits by 30 to 40%. You're looking at a total income around $5,135. Now, this is aggressively saving half of their income in tax-deferred retirement accounts. That may not be possible making $70,000 a year, because what's going to happen is they're going to be paying a lot on student loans, and they're going to be putting the maximum in IRA. So these are the things you can do to retire early or to retire more comfortably. Let's go through them. So again, your major costs are getting out of debt, especially high interest debt that returns more than the market is making. The market on average is going to make 7 to 8%, and sometimes it makes more, sometimes it makes less, but 7% is very conservative. That's what I used to figure this. You can increase your earnings. You have a high savings rate. You want to reduce, where you can always save money is food, transportation, and your home. And so it might behoove these people to, at some point, especially if there's a windfall of some sort, to buy a house. Now, I know a lot of people in the financial independence community might not agree with me, but let me put it to you this way. Let's say that they do increase their income to $112,000. They get in by 55, they've got their student loans paid off, and they're fully funding their they're making $112,000. They're fully funding their IRA and their 401k, and they take maybe, oh my goodness, let's see, I had it down here. If they wanted to still live on 48, they could take $10,000 a year and save it. So let's say they saved over the next 5 years $50,000, and they put that on a $150,000 modest home. Now that's not a lot of money, I get that. That's not a lot of house, but let's just say that's what they did. They put $50,000 down on 100. Then their house payment at like a 3.75 interest rate, which is what it is right now, is going to only be about $580 a month. And yes, I have these figures in my head because I do this math all the time. $580 a month with taxes and insurance. Okay, that's going to be substantially lower than rent, and then they can begin to increase their tax deferred savings even more. So, you know, that's one way they could do it. I hope that makes sense. So decreasing your transportation, your food cost, discretionary income, automobile costs, these are all things that allow you to save more money. Let me put it in perspective to you. If you had two car payments that were $550 a month, and two car payments, okay, and they're $550, or you had debt that was around $1,100 a month that you were paying, you are robbing yourself in a 10-year period of making $221,000 in retirement, because you're paying it out with interest instead of paying it into interest-bearing tax-deferred savings. And so this is why this is so important. The other thing I want to try to explain really quickly is, let's say you're making $100,000 and you put the maximum into IRA and 401k. That's 48. That leaves you with $48,000. Then you get a $24,000 tax credit, which is what it is right now. That leaves you paying taxes on $24,000, and that's assuming no more deductions. You're probably not going to pay taxes. But if you're at $100,000 and you put nothing in an IRA or nothing in tax deferred savings, and you get the $24,000 deduction, you're paying a tax bracket of $76,000, which is substantially more. So you might end up paying somewhere around $10,000 to $14,000 in taxes. So I hope this has made sense. My recommendation would be to aggressively pay down debt and then student loan. And as soon as the debt is paid, go ahead and fund that IRA because of the age and because of the interest rate on the student loans. Try to decrease your expenses, increase your income, massively increase your payments to student loan, keep funding that IRA. As soon as you get that student loan paid off, then I would consider quickly opening a 401k and maxing it out. At this rate, because these people have about 18 to 19 years left before they can fully take full Social Security, they could retire somewhere between $750,000 to over $1 million in the bank at retirement, and that would be pretty comfortable. But because of our age, we have to aggressively save, and that is what I am doing. My husband and I made about $80,000 a year just a couple years ago combined. When we met 8 years ago, we were making around $35,000 combined. It was really bad. We have increased our earning by working. My husband works 2 jobs. I did until recently. And we're aggressively paying. So instead of paying student loans, we've been aggressively paying down our house. And I know that a house is a little bit more concrete, right? But we're fully funding those IRAs, paying down our house aggressively, living on actually 1/3 of our income. We're living on about Oh my gosh, not including the mortgage, maybe about $30,000 a year, including the mortgage around $45,000 a year. And we're taking all of that extra money. And every time my husband sold a boat this weekend, he gave me $2,800 and I went and put it on the house. We saved up for a couple of months and I went and put $10,000 on the house. Every time I have an extra I can save up $1,000 or more, I go put it on the house. Sometimes I just put it monthly on the house. So we started out with $218,000 to pay off, and we have gotten it down to $158,000 in less than 2 years. So it can be done. Our income has gone up to about 140. I don't normally share these numbers. And we pay quite a bit in taxes. I wrote an $18,000 check to the IRS just yesterday, and we're still probably going to owe another $5,000. But as soon as the house is paid off, I will then take what is left over and I'll fully fund a 401k. My husband is 61. He'll be 64 when the house is paid off at the rate we're going. So I'm still going to fund an IRA and a 401k for him because it's tax deferred until we close our roofing business. I'll cut down to 3 days a week. We will be part-time at 53. And well, I should be about 52 and a half. I can go to part-time if I want to. My husband, more part-time than I am right now. My husband will just be able to do our roofing business part-time. That's going to cut our income by about $50,000 a year. We'll be making about $90,000, but we will only need about $25,000 to live on because we will have no bills except our utilities, food, and gas. And I hope that makes sense. So we'll continue to save. When we're making $90,000, we'll continue to save $52,000 a year plus cash that's left over, and that will still leave us around $30,000 to live on. So I hope this makes sense. It can be done if you're at a very low income and you feel like, well, how can I do this? I don't know how I could do this. If you are at a low income and you're like thinking, well, I don't have the potential to make more money, I would look into a skill that you can make more money or find a way to do that. There are a lot of 1 and 2 year degrees if you're younger than me or even my age. Like sonography is like a 1 or 2 year degree doing ultrasound. It pays around $85,000 a year. I would consider a job change. I would consider doing all the things I suggested, lowering your expenses, increasing your savings, trying to find a way to make more money and save as much as you can and live frugally. It doesn't mean you don't have a life and don't have fun. You can have a full, rich, simple life and still live very frugally. Okay, guys, I'm pretty tired. I need to go work out. This is not probably my best quality video, but I hope this has helped you immensely. All my love, subscribe and like and share. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.